tawassul is of four forms. There are four forms of tawassul. The first is you go directly to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ya Allah, help me. The second form of tawassul is you say, Ya Allah, in the name of your Prophet, for example, help me. The third form is, Ya Rasulullah, can you ask Allah to help me? And the fourth form is, Ya Rasulullah, help me. Four ways of you doing dua. All Muslims accept the first. The Wahhabis reject the second and the Sunnis accept it. The Sunnis reject the third and the Sufis accept it. The Barelvis. And the only one that accepts all four is the followers of the Ahlul Bayt, which is us. And inshallah, in the time that I've been given today, I'll prove to you that all four are permissible. First one's very easy. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, what ask me, I'll answer you. Take first one's done. Put it aside. Second one, you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the name of your Prophet. Where's the proof for this? Quran chapter 4, verse 64. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, had they, when they had done injustice to themselves, had they come to you, Ya Rasulullah, and asked for forgiveness, and the Prophet had asked for forgiveness for them, surely they would have found Allah oft forgiving them. Which means what? Which means that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, when you have done injustice to yourself, when you have done a sin, when you have committed dhulm upon yourself, had you gone to the messenger and asked him to ask Allah to forgive you, you will find Allah oft forgiving. Now some people come forward and say, this was only during the lifetime of the Prophet. That's it. It's limited. It's only when the Prophet is alive. Well, it doesn't say that in the verse. If the death of the Prophet was to make a difference in this form of tawassul, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would have said, ask the Prophet to ask Allah for forgiveness, but when he dies, stop. So that means his death doesn't make a difference. You can ask the Prophet even today, as per chapter 4, verse 64. And it's not just us. Let's look throughout history, right? One day in Medina, after the Prophet had passed away, whilst he was in his grave, in the city of Medina, there was no rain for several months. The Muslims all came together, where? To the house of the wife of the Prophet. And they said to her, look, we have been praying for rain for several months. Rain is not coming down. How do we get rain? Now this is a woman who the other schools of thought in Islam take more than half their religion from. So you don't have to listen to us. They're going to meet it this one. You take half your religion from her. Listen to her. What does she say? She says that let's all go to the grave of Rasulullah. So the whole Muslims, the Ummah, come together towards the grave of Rasulullah and they invoke the Prophet directly within his grave and they say, Ya Rasulullah. Ya is harf nida. Ya is to call someone. So they said, Ya Rasulullah, please can you intercede between us and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and can you ask him to bring rain? And the narrations mention they hadn't even finished their dua yet and rain began falling on the city of Medina. So there's proof within the Quran and within Hadith literature that you can go to the grave. Ahl Sunnah come from four schools of thought when it comes to fiqh, when it comes to beliefs. The four fiqh schools within Ahl Sunnah are the Hanafis, Sha'fis, Malikis and Hanbalis. All four of them were the students of Imam Sadiq alayhi salam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa